Okay, you might be Greg Saunders.
Gregory.
Eagle looking great, you're go.
And we're rolling, Gregory.
Greg Saunders!
Wow! Hey, great!
Show us the skills that have made you a media darling.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Welcome, 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 welcome to the Saturday Morning State Line Show.
It's one of those parental truths, ladies and gentlemen. When you hear the toilet flush and the words, uh-oh, it's already too late. I'm Greg. He's Tom. It's your Saturday Morning State Line Show for the 23rd day of September, the year 2023, the latest it has ever been.
In the history of mankind.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
You made it.
Standing by with my mop and bucket right now.
Some of the worst memories of life.
I tell you what, as any parent can attest, we once had a little Barbie cup in the toilet that didn't quite make it up over the thing. And then when my dad, who lived with us for 12 years, he had dropped out of his pants a credit card, like it was a thick plastic, not quite as thick as a credit card, but anyway, he had dropped it out of his pants and into the toilet, and it wedged in there. Not only did we have to take the toilet apart, we broke it in the process. We had to go get a brand new toilet.
Bummer.
Yeah.
Bummer. I hate it when that happens. Well, we've got a nice big show here for you today. We've got it's INCROWD week. And so we're going to be talking with Jamie. I don't think we're going to talk with John because he's in Wisconsin and they had storms last night. And apparently his internet went down the toilet.
It went down the toilet. Yeah. And he said, uh-oh,
just too late. And this is a very special week. I mentioned it last week, but now we've actually crossed the threshold of our 10th anniversary of the Saturday Morning State Line Show. I had forgotten that the actual first Saturday Morning State Line Show was on, remember, the 21st day of September. You know, it was
right.
It
Yeah.
really was. And we've had a lot of interesting things happen on the 21st day of September in our life here in the Saunders household. So anyway, yeah, we've now surpassed legit our 10th anniversary. And here we are still, Tom, Joann, and me doing the same show. We're crazy, a little nuts, persistent, consistent. What other adjectives you want to throw at us for doing this for 10 years? But anyway, I'm really proud of us. I think this is really cool. Of course, the last 3.5 have all been online and doing it podcast style. And I'm looking real quick to see if I have. I don't think I do. I don't think I have show notes. I started taking, doing Google Docs of our show notes later on when we started the show. I don't think I have one of the actual first show that we ever did.
The first one we did on this format, Zoom. Back then it was Zoom.
Oh, no, September of 2013 when we were still on WRHL.
Okay.
I think I started doing that in 2014. That's when I actually started taking putting the show stuff on notes. But anyway, kudos to you guys. It was a 2-hour show at first. We're not going to go back to 2 hours, at least not anytime in the near future. But we might do an hour and a half, depending on how much football talk we want to do.
Yeah.
Let's do this, though. Big number of the week. I do have that right here. Right. We've had a pretty quick race to 10 this time, Tom. It's already 7-8. We could be 2 weeks away.
I'm losing, aren't I?
You're just one behind Joann. This is a neck and neck race. It's been like Cubs and Brewers end of the season, except this last week and a half where things have completely changed. We got to talk about that a little bit. Our big number of the week this week, speaking of Brewers, it's either Milwaukee or Mouse House. 60 billion is our big number of the week. 60 billion. And the answer is Milwaukee or Mouse House. We'll give you the answer at the end of the show. And Dan from Tulsa says, good morning. Good morning, Dan.
Just sent mine. Hey, Mr. Dan.
Nice to see you tuning in. All right, so before we get to our guests, I want to do our shout outs here for the week this week, which is I'm going to start the week off in Woodstock. We spent the last weekend pretty much all in Woodstock at the Opera House. Our daughter was in the Silver Screen Spectacular. Great show that they put on, almost like one of the guys termed it like a cabaret, but it wasn't like a cabaret. It wasn't like it was a family friendly show, and it was focusing on a lot of the music that movies help make famous. So they did a whole thing from like the 40s all the way up to today. Nice range of music. There was a bunch of kids in the show as well that did a wonderful job. And our daughter just nailed it. Mariah's got this voice. She needs to be singing professionally, probably. She's so good.
Maybe American Idol, America's Got Talent, maybe one of those.
Yeah, I don't know that she's got that kind of aspiration, but she loves her local acting. She's a good actress too. It's not just that she can sing; she can act and dance and all this stuff. So, kudos to the crew at Woodstock Opera House and the crew that put on this show. Started planning it back in February. They did a lot of their own original arrangements. They had a 4-piece live band on the stage, and it was really, really cool. It was also last weekend was also Hispanic. We kick off the Hispanic Heritage Month and a Mexican Independence Day. So they had a big celebration in the square in Woodstock. So there were thousands of people. We get there for the show in the Opera House, which was, in the Opera House on the square. And there's already this party going on in the square for Hispanic Heritage. And so when the show was all done, we went out and walked around and just enjoyed the ambiance. Thankfully, the weather was great, but literally there was probably 3,000 or 4,000 people in the square in Woodstock celebrating Mexican independence and Hispanic Heritage Month and stuff. It was really cool. They had a lot of fun stuff going on. They had a parade of horses. Literally over 100 horses were in this parade. They paraded around the square, and it was something else. So, and then we ate at a place, I think it was called DC's Pub. Enjoyed Woodstock a lot last weekend. So kudos to Woodstock and everything they put on there at the square. last weekend. Also, this week, want to give a shout out to Emily Bisson. Emily hosts a thing called Grow Your Network. It's a LinkedIn networking group that we do once a month over Zoom with people from all over the country and kind of talk about different marketing ideas and business stuff. And one of the things we talked about this week was strategies on what are your best strategies to getting business leads. And I learned a word called psychographic. And it's not what you think. And I can't describe it, so I'm not going to. But anyway, that was.
Does it have to do with testing?
Something to do with personalities and how to market to them. And it's just
Okay.
It was an interesting conversation. Anyway, Emily, thanks for the group. It was a lot of fun this weekend for this month. A couple more quick shout outs. Rock House Kids had their annual Sweets and Treats event Thursday night at Tabala. Put on another great program. Lots of gift baskets, lots of money raised for Rock House Kids and the great work they do for the inner city kids of Rockford. Dee and Nikki and their whole crew. Kudos to you guys. It was a really wonderful night for Rock House Kids. Really love supporting them. And then my last shout out is we tried a new restaurant last night up in Beloit. We went up to Velvet Buffalo. Have you been to Velvet Buffalo yet?
I have not. I know where it is, but I've not been there.
Velvet Buffalo is one of those Geronimo properties. It's in the Goodwin Hotel. It's on the main level of the Goodwin Hotel, and just really cool because the weather was great. So they have the big front windows completely wide open. So you're like, it was like almost like eating outside, but not, you know. Anyway, that was a first for us, and kudos to them as well. We got to do some Packers talk before the end of the show. They didn't win, which is a little depressing, but they did another good game mostly. And the Brewers clinched a playoff place spot last night. Did you see how they did it?
I heard it.
Okay.
But I can't remember. I heard it on the radio this morning. I was kind of half in and half out. They clinched it by doing something. I can't remember.
They scored 12 runs in the second or third inning. I think it was the second inning. 12 runs. So the final score was 16-1. And the pitcher that they put out there in the ninth inning to close it, Rowdy Tellez, their first baseman, DH hitter. Probably the oldest guy on the team. I'm guessing he's at least, if not the oldest, the second oldest guy on the team. Throwing lefty, 58 mile an hour.
Oh, wow. That I didn't hear. I heard they won 16-1. That's what I heard. I guess I didn't know. Yeah.
He got to strike out in a couple pop outs. And so he 1-2-3 inning. It was just hilarious.
I gotta imagine that the players who struck out and popped out and all that, they're just like, you know what? Let me just get this thing done. I don't want to start a rally, score 4 runs, get our hopes up, and then if it was 6-1, he probably wouldn't have come in.
No.
Let's get this done.
In the 8th inning, one of the Miami Marlins hit a home run, so that took away the shutout. And then so they brought in Rowdy. And anyway,
well, good for your Brewers. I do not hate your Brewers. They're my team now. If the Cubs don't make it, I will be rooting for the Brewers the whole way. Obviously.
Go Brewers.
Oh yeah, because I'm not one of those that the only teams I really, really hate. I don't hate the Yankees, but I don't like them. The Dodgers.
Dodgers.
I don't like the Dodgers. I don't want to see Miami win anything. Outside of that, I guess I don't really care. I don't have any. Houston, I don't want to see Dusty Baker win again.
Let's see if Jamie has an opinion about baseball. Jamie, do you have an opinion about baseball? Is there a team that you love or hate to love?
I would just have to say the Cubs. That would be it. Go Cubbies.
Yes, go Cubbies. Hey, we still have a chance. We're still in it.
We're still in it. We're not going anywhere.
We're one game up, I believe, on Cincinnati or the Miami Marlins for the final wild card spot. But it's whatever. They're not going anywhere anyway. It's not like they're going to win the World Series. I don't know why they added that extra wild card spot. It's dumb.
It's just a one-game deal. It's just
I know.
One shot.
Shot. Oh, it's all about money. It's all about money.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's fine, whatever. You'll sell more tickets. You'll sell some merchandise, some hot dogs, beer, whatever. Fine. But you've got 14 teams out of 30 going to the playoffs now.
Yeah.
I think it's 14. Is it 7-7 or is it 6-6? No, it's 7. It's 3 divisions and 3 wild. It's 6, so you get 12. It's
crazy.
Still too much.
The one game playoff after playing 162 games regular season is just kind of weird, but that's fine. Yeah. Whatever. And I've said this before. The Cubs are my second favorite team, and I know that's not supposed to be the way it is. You know, they're in the same division as your favorite team, so they can't be your second favorite. Yes, they can. I can like the Cubs. I like the Cubs a lot.
But the problem is the Brewers were in the American League up until 10 or 12 years ago or whatever it was now, 15 years ago now. So I was always a Brewers fan when they were in the American League. I didn't care. They were never going to play the Cubs. So,
and now here they are in the same division, which has been kind of a crap.
Hang up on one another. You guys doing more of the beating than us, but oh well.
I see John's trying to get on his phone system here, so he might be able to join us, Jamie. I don't know.
Okay.
He's trying, and I can see video, but I don't know that, you know. John, I see a 10 out of 10 connection. So wherever you are, you must have good service for your phone. So if you want to put yourself on camera, I'll bring you on, but I don't want to put your steering wheel on camera. That's not what I want to do. All right. Yeah. Oh, there he is. There he is. Nice to see you there, buddy. How's it going?
I'm doing good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, I had to turn the phone around. I don't know what's going on with the stupid thing, but hey, it all works. So.
Northern Wisconsin got hit with the storms last night pretty hard.
It started about 8 o'clock last night and literally just stopped raining about 20 minutes ago.
Oh, wow.
You're having about as much good luck as the Bears.
What took you so long, Tom?
I don't know. I was waiting for you to get on screen.
Yeah. Well, the rivers need the extra water, so you know that's all right. We need.
I'd say the lake's definitely back up from where it was, so
that's good. That's good. Well, hey, we're excited. This Thursday, it's INCROWD week here, and INCROWD is doing something a little different, a little special this month. Do you want to lead this off, John, and say what we're doing, and then Jamie can fill in the blanks?
Oh yeah, definitely. And again, thank you guys for everything that you do to help us promote the INCROWD, which is the largest free networking group in the Rockford region. You know, when we started 2023 out, we said this was going to be the year of change and difference, and you know we've done that so far this year, and we're going to continue that on for INCROWDs in September. You know, we as everybody knows, we have a charity that we have focused on primarily for the last 6 years, and that being MOSAIC. And MOSAIC wanted to host this event, but we wanted to do something different. So Jamie had reached out, and I'll let her tell the story a little bit more here in a second, to KEGELS. And, you know, KEGELS has always talked about, you know, wanting to be involved in some things. So it kind of has worked out to where we're able to have KEGELS in Cherry Valley and MOSAIC all at the same time. And it's going to be a huge event, going to be a great event, and definitely looking forward to see what's going to be going on.
How did you make that connection, Jamie? Why did that all come together?
Actually, that connection came from the various networking groups. I actually just made asks for people to give me ideas of different venues that would be fun. And everyone was shouting out Harley Davidson KEGELS in Rockford. So I decided to take their advice, gave them a call, linked up with Chelsea and Rachel, awesome ladies over there. And they were all able to help me plan the event, and we were able to move forward.
I was hoping to get Rachel on today because I don't think I've met Rachel yet. I met Chelsea, but her last day was yesterday. She's moving on to something else now, but she did a great job with marketing and stuff over there at Harley Davidson. And so we're looking forward to meeting with Rachel on Thursday. And we probably don't want to give away everything, but can we at least put some teasers out there as what to expect on Thursday night for this being a little bit of a unique situation?
Sure. If you really want to try and learn how to ride a motorcycle, I would suggest that you wear long pants to the event. They are going to have what they call the Jump Start Out and Ready for anyone that wants to get on and try it. It will turn on just like a normal motorcycle, and you can do a lot of various things on that, and it will get very hot on the sides with the pipes, so they suggest pants. We also have ABC Catering. We have a really great selection of food. So if anything brings you out, the food's going to be amazing. And Harley Davidson will be sponsoring the beverages.
I've never had a bad meal that was catered by ABC Catering, and I've been at a lot of wedding receptions. So for the last 20 years, I bet I've been to at least 24 weddings that was catered by ABC, and they always do a great job. So that'll be cool. And the Harley Davidson store, for those who are not motorcyclists, you're not into the motorcycle thing. That's cool. The store is just cool. You don't have to be a Harley rider or owner to just appreciate all the cool stuff that's in the Kegel Harley store. They're right by the mall. So come out and just, at least nothing else, just check out the store.
And the store will be open. They're actually going to extend. I think they said they're going to extend the hours a little bit just for us. So definitely come out and check out the store.
Yeah, they probably normally close at like 5 or 6 or 7 or something, but we're going to be there till probably 8 or 8:30. So this should be a lot of fun. And again, for those who don't know what MOSAIC is and MOSAIC does, Jamie, fill us in on what MOSAIC is all about.
Absolutely. MOSAIC serves people in our local community that have intellectual disabilities through a residential program and through a host home program.
So do you guys need volunteers?
We always need volunteers for a variety of events that we have going on. It's best to call me, connect with me, and we can see what we have. But we always have events going on, and we're getting ready to break into the holiday season. So volunteers are a must right now. Absolutely.
Okay. So reach out to Jamie at MOSAIC. Easy to find. You guys are on Facebook and everything, and just do a MOSAIC in Rockford, I think, is the easiest thing to do, right?
That is the key. Yes, it has to be MOSAIC in Rockford. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself at a variety of MOSAICs. Yes.
There's MOSAIC things all over the country.
Yes,
so,
there are.
I want to make sure you look for MOSAIC in Rockford. I'm looking forward to this, John. This should be a lot of fun.
It definitely is, Greg. And, it's Jamie and you both touched on the different things in Kegel store. One thing I've come to notice, going around the country here in the last couple of years is that the Harley Davidson stores in itself all have different things in there besides just the bikes. And, they try to be unique and different in things that are going on. So, Rockford is one of those that goes right along with it. And some of you may or may not have seen when I was in Topeka, Kansas a few weeks ago, the Harley.
Oh, he says, audio. Nope. What happened? Do you need to plug in, John? Did you lose battery? It's all him. It's not us, guys. It's all him. So I guess I'll just turn that off here for a second because it just disappeared. He's talking about where he was at a couple of weeks ago. And honestly, when my wife and we took that Alaska trip this summer, in 2 of the 3 ports that we stopped in, there were Harley Davidson dealerships.
That's awesome.
So we walk into the first one, Ketchikan, Alaska, and we're going to get from off the ship to the boat where we're taking this excursion tour. And on the way, I took a picture of myself with the Harley logo because, hey, look, there's a Harley store here in Ketchikan, Alaska. And then there was one in Juneau as well. So Harley's an amazing brand, and I'm sure Rachel at the Kegel Harley will want to talk a little bit about all the cool stuff that they've got going on. And as Jamie mentioned, there's a motorcycle. What do you call it? It's a
jump start.
Gem Star.
Jump start.
Oh, okay. So some kind of almost like a virtual reality motorcycle thing or something. I don't know.
No, it's an actual motorcycle. They're going to start it up. It's just stationary. So you can't drive anywhere on it, but you can sure pretend.
You can, okay. Well,
yeah, she was saying jump start. That was what she was talking about a little while ago. The jump start thing.
So that'll be
fun.
I
got a question. Juneau is the only state capital. I just learned this the other day that you cannot get to by car or anything else. You can only go by boat or by plane
or birth canal.
What's that? Or yeah, exactly. There you go. Wow.
That was our tour guide's joke. I stole that one. That wasn't me.
Well, maybe that's where I learned it from you. But
I thought it was hilarious.
How do you have a motorcycle shop there? You can't
Well,
drive it
there's
anywhere but Juneau, but Juneau's fairly good size too, right?
Yeah. There's it's a city. It's a big town, but yeah, you can't leave. You're gonna go on the what do you call them? Not the trolleys, but the boats to get you in and out of
Ferries.
the ferries. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Anywho, Thursday night's the night this week, 5:30 till 8:30, whenever the Harley folks kick us out and say we've had enough. This should be a lot of fun, and then we'll set things up for October. Do we want to tease anything for October, John?
No, we'll just leave that right there. We'll focus on September.
That'll be the tease. The tease is there's no tease for October.
Yeah, we already have it set up. I don't know all of what they're planning on doing yet, Greg, so that's why I don't want to really we were there at this location about 5 years ago, but under different circumstances. So it's definitely going to be interesting, and they're definitely looking to do a lot of things differently than what they did before. So
cool. All right. So October's event will to be announced, and then December, the big fundraising event for MOSAIC is not on a Thursday. It'll be on a Wednesday. That's the one time a year when we don't do Thursday event. It's the December is usually on a Wednesday.
Yeah, and the reason behind that, Greg, is we have found that there's always been a lot of events on Thursday going into December, so we moved it up one day just to make it a little bit more flexible for everybody. And this one this year is going to be, again, different than anything in any location we've ever been at. And I've already looked at the room we're going to be in. We've got plenty of room for a lot of people in there, so it's going to be a great time.
Awesome. Well, unless there's anything else you guys want to throw out there, looking forward to Thursday night at KEGEL, Harley Davidson. Wait a minute. Where'd I got the logo. I got to throw that up on the screen. KEGEL, Harley Davidson, the oldest Harley franchise dealership, I think, in the country. If not the oldest, the second oldest. It's right up there. They've been a Harley Davidson dealer for a very long time. And it's a really cool place. So anyway, look forward to seeing you guys Thursday night.
Look forward to it.
All right. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Thanks, Greg.
Be careful
Thanks,
out there, John.
Thanks, Jamie.
Yes, be careful out there for sure. Bing, bing, bing. Joann. Okay, now that she's not holding a dog up, I can bring her on the screen. Hi, Joann.
You can't see me with the dog.
I saw you holding a dog up in front of the camera a few minutes ago, and I almost started laughing out loud. I was like, "Oh, I'm going to put Joann on the screen real quick, just so I can show people."
Joann just had a makeover.
She basically mooned me with a dog butt. That's what she did.
Is that what it was?
We didn't know we were on the air.
But I can see it. I can see it. My screen has all the little preview screens on the side.
That just means you're in the backstage.
Right now, I'm still looking at John's steering wheel. He's still on the platform.
There's my dog.
No, it was the butt of the dog.
It was the butt.
Oh.
I was looking at a dog butt.
Well, there you go.
Thanks for that. That's really friendly.
Well,
He was trying to recreate it.
It's a stuff.
Oh,
Not a real one. Come on.
We have fun. All right.
I was thinking if it was our 10th anniversary and there's 52 weeks in the year, does that mean that I was on the show with 500 plus dogs or cats?
Yes. Today's show is episode 517 because there's been a few that we've had to miss for different reasons. So, it should be episode 520, but it's 517.
So that's why I brought the dog today, because I thought all those years I always brought a dog or cat to the studio, had to ring the doorbell. Tom had to get out and open the door for me because we couldn't leave it propped.
Joann, actually, you're correct on that. But what happened was I would leave it propped, and then somebody
got
would
in trouble.
leave, and somebody would come in and not prop it. Most of the time I would try and leave it propped for you, and then somebody would leave or come in and not recognize that the door was propped for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
But it
That drove me
boggles my
nuts.
mind that I brought that many dogs to the studio, dogs or cats, and how I managed
So many.
that.
That is amazing. You've touched a lot of lives, and you've also touched a lot of animal lives. We really appreciate you. But what I was going to say is, Greg, it stands to reason that Christmas or something like that, we didn't do our shows on Christmas. We weren't,
Yeah. There was a few
back in the day. And over a 10-year period, you're going to have at least one Christmas and possibly two, because every 6 days it cycles, 6 years it cycles through because of leap year. It doesn't go 7, it'll go 6. And if you get 2 leap years in that, then you're going to miss 2. And then
it still boggles my mind to think that I had come in with that many dogs and cats.
Yeah.
How I managed it.
You actually came in. Well, not only that, pigs. You
we
came
have
in with
pigs on the show.
Yeah, you came in with Fifi a few times, at least 2.
I'm going to bring up the show. Let me see how's this look. Is this going to look? There we go. That looks good. So this is our Facebook page. For those who haven't followed us yet on Facebook, go to facebook.com, look for Saturday Morning State Line, and in fact, I'll put the link in the chat, so now there's no excuse. And the link is in the chat to follow us on Facebook. And I'm going to go to our photos page, because I did this week. We're kind of reminiscing over the years of doing this show. Here's the photos page. And as I scroll down, just
amazing.
Look at all these cats and dogs that we've thrown up there over 10 years. This is reminiscing time, folks. This is reminiscing.
Wow.
We knew you then.
All these photos.
I'll have to go and look at that where I can, just amazing.
I'm going to try to find one from like way back. Hey, look, there's all 3 of us in a photo together. Woohoo!
Nice. I'm not on Facebook yet. I'm on Facebook.
Yet you're there. Tom and that dog.
Oh, yeah.
Is that Joe when he got Max? Oh, that's not Max. But Joe filled in for me on one week.
Joe adopted a dog that looked like a mini husky.
Mini husky. Yep, Max the mini husky.
Yeah, an awesome dog.
How far back can we go here? This is 10 years of photos. I mean, I want to see what was the first one. This might take too long. The whole rest of the show is just going to be me scrolling over photos, everybody. So thanks for watching. No.
Well, you scroll over photos. I'll talk Packer football. I'm kidding. We'll save that for the end of the show. Wait, Joann, you get a vote. What do you want? Yes, Packer football now or later?
Later.
Oh, wow. Thanks for throwing me under the bus.
You said I got to vote.
I had her vote in my back pocket the whole time.
Yeah, but I didn't mean you actually got to vote if you were going to vote with him. You got to figure out how this works. Come on now.
Well, see how long it's taken me to get to the bottom of all these photos? This is 10 years of stuff. This is 10 years of photos. All of Joann's awesome Christmas costumes. Mrs. Claus.
A lot of Joann.
The Mrs. Claus photos. Probably some of our favorites. See, yeah, this is still like 2017. This is still like just 6 years ago.
Wow.
Go back 10 years. So, all right. This is going to take too long. But anyway.
Yeah, I'm twiddling my thumbs here. So
thank you for supporting our show for the last 10 years and hopefully for the next 10 years. We'll just keep this thing rolling as long as we possibly can.
Scroll through the thing and you can see Joann age.
What are you saying, Greg? We're going to be canceled in 10 years?
We don't know what's going to happen. We have no idea what's going to happen. Yeah, see, this says 2017. We're now 6 years back. If I had planned to do this, I would have scrolled already to the bottom.
I don't even know how I managed that.
I don't either. I do want to get to some stuff, some randoms for the week.
Besides looking at old pictures.
Go to Saturday Morning State Line on Facebook, and you'll see all the cool stuff there. It's randoms time. Randoms on the Saturday morning State Line show, brought to you by Ultrarize, unofficially anyway, the app that enables volunteers to track, verify, and maintain their own community service data for a lifetime. Ultrarize, tell a better story, live a better life. You'll find the app in your app store, and there's stuff going on. Back to sharing the screen, because I got some stuff to share locally here. What's going on in the area these days? Well, how about the Creative Collection at Historic Auto Attractions? They're doing something special today from 10 to 5. Free admission. Museum admission will be priced as usual. This is up in Roscoe on Metric Drive. Historic Auto Attractions hosting their first vendor fair.
I've been by there many, many times. I've never been in.
Have
you been there?
Years ago, like when they first started, I had a little sneak peek, but I've never been back since they've actually.
I am going to make it a point to go there.
All kinds of different creative things today for their vendor fair, and then museum admission to go see the inside the museum is its normal charge, 10 to 5 today up in Roscoe. It's Bubble Festival at Discovery Center Museum. Your kids will love this. Heck, you don't have to be a kid to love that. This is fun. $5 to the public, $3 for members. Bubble celebrity Ben Jimenez combines art, science, and a touch of magic in his live performances. This should be a lot of fun. Bubble PaloozaPlayground, weather permitting, and I think the weather's going to be okay for this. Let's see, a show at 10, 11, and 1 at the awesome Discovery Center in Rockford on North Main Street. Saturday Fun on the Farm runs through the end of October out there at Lockwood Park. Bring the family out for the park. Admission is free. Some activities do have fees. If you want to take a wagon ride, it's like $4 a person. Every 30 minutes, they do another wagon ride through the woods there around Lockwood Park. Also, as part of the Rockford Park District, Atwood Center Birds of Prey, 10 to 2 at the Atwood Center on New Milford School Road. It's a beautiful center, and even when it's wet, the trails are well mulched, so you can walk the trails. There are trails you won't want to walk on because they'll be muddy, but the main trails are all mulched. So have fun. Just watch out for the mountain bikers, because they ride around the trails too. 10 to 2, they feed the birds at 1. It's very gross. Your kids will love it. Local Authors Book Fair is taking place today at the Ethnic Heritage Museum from 10 to 3. This is free. Again, they're planning on doing this outside as long as the weather's okay, but they have indoor space too. Each author will have a table there at the Brick Pathway. I believe that's right between the Heritage Museum and House.
No, naughty.
10 to 3 today. The Tour de North End is taking place, Tom, so watch out for the bikers today. Don't run them over with your car.
I won't.
Tour de North End.
In my lap.
12th annual Bicycle Fest, visiting all these locations on the North End.
Didn't like the smell.
All these Rockford
I want it
businesses.
back.
Always a good time. Ashley Ann Simpson is going to be doing a concert on the creek at Spring Creek Church tonight, 7 to 9.
Ashley Simpson, really?
Ashley Ann
Wow.
Simpson. Yeah, I don't. Ashley.
I wonder if Jessica will be with her.
Jennifer Ashley and Joel Simpson, folk scene favorites. They are going to be doing reminiscent and famous duos such as Ian and Sylvia, Everly Brothers. Doors open at 6. Admission is free. I think they sell pizza by the slice and bottled beverage, soft drinks. And then Exit the King is happening at Rockford University Performing Arts. We have some friends involved at this, so I wanted to give it a shout out. It is $12 for adults, $9 for non-Rockford Rockford University student and seniors age 55 and over. Okay. So there is tickets, and this looks like a funny, fun show. Exit the King. The king does not want to leave the stage. He's enjoying the spotlight, even though he's caught in a tug of war between his 2 queens. That's right. He's got 2 wives, apparently. So this should be, they call it Theater of the Absurd. So a lot of funny stuff. And show is tonight at 7:30 and a matinee tomorrow at 2. Rockford University is the place for that. We had guests on last week for Dancing with the Rockford Stars. Again, that's coming up November 18th. Supporting family counseling services. And then Gigi's Playhouse Annual Gala, Denim and Diamonds, is coming up October 21st. You can still get tickets for that. That's happening at Tabala. Everything's happening at Tabala this year, guys.
Wow.
Dancing with the Rockford Stars is at Tabala. Denim and Diamonds is at Tabala. Rockhouse Kids just had their event at Tabala. If you haven't been to an event at Tabala in the last few years, they have cleaned it up. They did a little bit of a renovation to it. So the big room, it's very nice. It's very nice. So kudos to what they've done out there. If you're looking for work, Amazon is planning on hiring about 250,000 workers across the country for holiday shopping season. Last year, they hired about 150,000 extra workers. This year, they're planning almost 250,000.
That's the number of the week.
No, it's not, but it could have been. It almost was. Company is saying it's increasing average pay for those workers as well, up from $19 to about $20.50 an hour. Lots of strikes and lockouts, accounting for over 4 million missed days of work last month, the highest monthly total since August of 2000, according to the Wall Street Journal. There's labor strikes. The Hollywood strike is going on, and then UAW threw a strike at us here this last week, and that might be close to being resolved, might not.
If Hollywood actors and actresses go on strike, does anyone care?
Does anyone care? Yeah, I'm not really missing too much.
I watch a lot of, say, Hallmark Channel. There's Pure Flix. There's a lot of different channels out there. I'm noticing Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, a lot of stuff going on there. Atlanta, Georgia, a lot of stuff going on there.
Yeah.
New York, Chicago. Hollywood is not as, it's almost like Las Vegas now, where you don't have, they don't have the market cornered on gambling, because there's a gambling place on every corner now in every city. So Hollywood may be kind of on the downslide.
This is a writers strike, so it's a writers union, and then the actors decided to join in with them as well. So this doesn't just mean Hollywood. This means if you're in the actors union and you're in the writers union, you're on strike right now, and they're not doing any new stuff. So and it's really confusing. It's a really complicated situation, because the writers want to get paid more for this content they've created that's now being put on all these different platforms. It was a little easier to figure out when it was TV and movie theaters.
Right.
2 boxes basically where all your content went. But now it's on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and all these different places. And it's like, how do the creators of it get paid? They deserve to get paid something.
Wasn't there another element to that where the background actors that were making some good money just as bit parts in roles where they would be dubbed in as background or something, and they weren't getting paid for that?
Yeah,
that was another element of it, unless that worked its way through and now they're onto something else.
It depended on what kind of contract you signed. If you signed a contract that says you're getting paid one time and that content can be used in perpetuity, that's what you signed. That's what you got. Here's your $1,000 for your week's worth of work, and now we're going to use your background B-roll stuff for years to come.
I understand the sentiment, but if you sign that contract,
intellectual property.
Well, this is what used to happen in the music business back in the 70s. You had so many one-hit wonders that made millions upon millions of dollars for the record label. They got $12,000. Napoleon Dynamite. You can Google this. I don't know how much he made for that movie, but I think it was like $10,000. That was it. John Heater.
Well, he wrote that, I think, so he's making more on the other end of it. But
I don't know if he wrote it. I don't know. Anyway.
Along the same lines, Katy Perry is the latest to sell her catalog. Her Litmus Music masters and publishing rights to her last 5 albums she sold for reportedly $225 million. So rather than just keep collecting residuals off of that music that she made for years and years to come, she just sold it lump sum and got about $200+ million for that.
Wow. I would take all of that money. First of all, I would have said, well, let's go to Canada Or let's go to England and we'll sell it there so I don't have to pay American taxes. Then I'll drop it in a Swiss bank account or something like that. Would you, this is like the lottery. If you won the lottery, you win, the $28 million jackpot. Do you want the money in one lump sum, which means you're going to get about 13, 14, because you're going to lose better than half of it?
Yeah.
Or are you going to take installments? And so she opted to take the entire lump sum.
Lump sum, invest in whatever she wants to do, and she can just keep co-hosting, judging American Idol or whatever she's doing out there. Good for her.
She's multi-talented. She can now. Does that mean she can still perform those songs if she doesn't own the rights to them now?
Oh, I'm sure that in the agreement, I'm sure there's something that says she can still perform them in concert.
Well, it would make sense for the record companies to. Otherwise, that's how you generate sales and CDs and this and that. She may not make a dime off the CD that sells out in the lobby, but her being in concert, I mean, that would be a bad move.
Yeah,
I would think.
Assuming her agreement to sell it said I can perform these in concert as long as I'm alive or whatever.
Yeah.
I know we're going to talk a little bit Packers later, but the XFL and the USFL, which I've tried to watch a little bit here and there, there's rumors that those two leagues are going to merge, which is a little interesting because of this. The USFL is affiliated with the NFL in some way, shape, or form. And there's probably a couple dozen players that played in the USFL last season that are playing this year in the NFL.
Yeah, and they're going to have to change some rules too, because the XFL marketed itself as being little different rules where they did the kickoffs differently and all that.
So here, one of the things that the XFL has done, that there's some rules that they've tried out that the NFL is even considering using. So maybe this merger is going to be a nice marriage of continuing to try out new type of rules in this B league, if you will, and kind of make it the minor league of the NFL, which they could really use.
They want to be all inclusive, so it's going to be XFL, USFL, LGBTQIA plus. That's what they're going to do. It's going to have just half of the alphabet there.
And then finally,
just a little humor, folks.
Finally, on my randoms for the week this week, where a pair of studies found that poor dental hygiene boosts your risk of heart attack and strokes. And in a separate study, researchers found mouthwash may be more detrimental than good. Using mouthwash might do more harm than good for your oral health. So we might want to do a little research into that. If you're a frequent mouthwash user, you might not want to use it so frequently. Do your own studying. I know WebMD and Googling your health things is probably not the best thing to do all the time. But I thought this was really interesting that the same week that they found poor dental hygiene boosts your risk of stroke and heart attacks, that they also found mouthwash might be more harmful than good. So,
well, just like coffee today is bad for you, coffee tomorrow is good for you. Coffee on Monday is bad for you. Coffee on Tuesday is good for you. So, you know what? I don't take any of those studies seriously, because every other month they come out with a different study that negates the one before.
Don't have more than 2 cups. Oh, you can have up to 6. How are you?
Yeah.
Well, our portion sizes are all mixed up too. So there's that. So this is not a cup of coffee. This is as big as my head. It's filled with water. But if I was a coffee drinker and this was full of coffee, this is not a cup of coffee. This would be like 4-5 cups of coffee.
Okay, this little thermos here, which is Tervis, my little Charlie Brown mug. This thing is the equivalent of one McDonald's large coffee. I pour it in, it stays warm literally 24 hours. It's amazing. But anyway, what is that, a 20-ounce cup? It's hardly a cup and a half of coffee. So it looks like I'm drinking a lot. It's really skinny. So this is about what I drink per day.
Oh, all right. There's our randoms for the week, Joann. Do we want to take a tour this week? How was things at PAWS Humane Society? What's going on at HQ out there?
We do have another Pints for Dogs coming up on Monday at
Olympic?
the Olympic, yes.
Yay.
Cool. So I think there's raffle prizes. So I think the time they're doing the raffle is at 7, but Pints for Pups is from 4 to 7, 4 to something. I saw the opening was at 4, but it's on the patio. So you can bring your dog out. This is probably the last hurrah because, it's getting colder on the patio.
Yeah, everything's going to be jacket weather before too long.
Oh, I'm loving it.
Bring on the chili.
Oh, and this is Estrella.
Estrella.
Right. She's a 1-year-old Chihuahua. Like I said, I was remembering when I always would bring a dog, cat, bunny, pig, rat, whatever I brought in on Saturday, and I would lug them to the studio.
You didn't bring a rat, did you? Or are you just kidding?
Yes, I had a rat named Olive.
Wow.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, she was found in someone's garage, and they brought her to PAWS. So in remembering that, I thought, I'm going to bring Estrella because she needs to. I miss doing that. That was fun. So I don't do that as much. There's a good picture
likes you.
in the collection. So
do you two need some alone time or what?
Uh-oh.
I lost myself. I'm sorry.
There you go.
What was your question? I'm sorry.
Do you two need some alone time?
Stop. She's a really cute dog, but like a typical Chihuahua, they fall in love with one person and the rest of the world can just go somewhere else.
We're all going to spend a little time with our favorite animal.
I found our first picture with Joann. I've been scrolling here while I've been talking. Here's our first picture of Joann with a cat. This was November of 2013.
Wow.
And then on, we started doing so many pets. And I could be scrolling this for so long. That wasn't a pet. That was a guy. But yeah. So many cool memories here from the last 10 years of photos. All right. Let's bring up.
We might have some crabby cats because I've got Estrella on a leash with me. So some cats don't always take to dogs.
How dare you bring that dog to our area?
I could.
Who is this foreign invader with a funny name?
Shay.
Okay. Her name is. I'm trying to put her in a cage and she's not having it. Now you can look at the floor. Just a minute.
Uh-oh, I lost her
It's
again.
a black cat.
Sorry. It's easier to not carry her.
Yeah.
There's our September's coming to a close. But there's our list. Remember with the Lou Backrow adoption event, we had 9 dogs adopted. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 dogs this month.
This has got to go on the screen, Tom.
What?
Dan's comment about mouthwash. Cheaper than bourbon.
Wow.
That's funny, Dan.
Somehow that doesn't surprise me.
An upside down cat.
Dan used to live with us, and I always wondered why the mouthwash was running out so quickly. Love you, buddy.
Cheaper than bourbon.
Cheaper than bourbon. Oh, goodness. Right.
Sleepy souls today.
Wow. Look at that. Did you sedate your cats today? They're all just kind of.
I know. I said they were kind of sleepy.
Oh, that's adorable right there. Oh yeah. Hey, what's up?
Let me just wake up. She's kind of depressed. There's one
What I
in
love
the
about
bed.
cats. They can sleep anywhere.
We have some more woke cats.
Greg, were you just humming the Price is Right theme?
Whatever the music is, I don't know what this. It's
Oh,
just.
it sounded like you went dun, 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 dun,
Oh
dun, dun, dun.
no.
It's a cute little one. They're 5.
By the way, the raffle for PAWS at Olympic Tavern, that's coming to an end on Monday.
I think, yeah.
Joann, what time will you be there on Monday?
Well, I'm thinking by 6, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Why?
Well, because it's just down the street from me, and I rarely get to any of the events, and I have to go to trivia at 5:30. So you said it would start at 4. I thought maybe
I babysit on Monday, so I can't really be there till probably 6.
Oh, okay. Because I'll be at Scanlon's at my trivia place by 5:30. So
yeah, that's. I thought no bad.
4 p.m. to 10 p.m. on their patio, weather permitting.
This is Shadow.
Ooh. Hello, Shadow.
A big fluffy cat.
yeah.
Ooh, and look at this. People love Siamese, so.
Oh yeah. A beautiful cat.
I think what her name. Adonis. Adonis, am I saying that right?
Don't mess with Adonis.
That would be a boy if it's Adonis.
Yeah, it is a boy.
Yeah.
Beautiful cat.
Oh,
Wow. Well, I'm sorry I'll miss you. We could have had a pint.
Yeah.
A pint. There's supposedly, I think that's about it for today. There's a beer you have to order, and if you order that beer, PAWS gets proceeds from that.
Okay. Well, I'm sure they'll have some signage up for that, so you know what to order to make additional donations to PAWS Humane Society. But yeah, the event this Monday is from 4 to 10, and it's the last. It's the end of that
last one?
Wrapping up the raffle. By the way, yeah, dogs must stay on their leash. Rules pretty much the same as they are at the dog park. You're responsible for your dog and cleaning up your dog's mess. No unfixed males or females in heat. Puppies under 4 months old. Yes, come bring the dog.
There are rules to remember.
Absolutely.
Are they going to like check? Okay, pick them up, turn them over.
Who knows? You give up that permission when you go to this event.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do our big number of the week. Where's my video? There it is. Big number. Our current race to 10 is getting right down to the wire here. It's 7-8. Joann with that 1 game lead over Tom. And the big number of the week this week is 60 billion. The answer.
Love, back to pass.
The answer is Milwaukee or Mouse House. Joann, I've already got the answer from Tom. What say you, Milwaukee or Mouse House? 3, 2, 1. Go.
Mouse House.
You're going with Mouse House. You wouldn't have known this, but Tom also did the Mouse House. So either you both get a point or neither of you get a point. Milwaukee's Holler House Tavern and Bowling Alley is celebrating an anniversary this month. Milwaukee's Holler House Tavern and Bowling Alley is the nation's oldest bowling establishment, confirmed by the United States Bowling Congress, founded September 13th, 1908 by Iron Mike Skoronsky. It was called Skoronsky's back in the day, but now it's called Milwaukee's Holler House, 115-year-old tavern and bowling alley. I don't think I've ever been there, but if I ever get a chance to, I want to roll a house ball, for a game and see if I can't get a strike in.
Let's do it. I'll go with you. I want to roll too.
So yes, congratulations. You both get points. Disney, the House of Mouse, said on Tuesday it's going to spend $60 billion on its global parks and cruise line over the next 10 years, doubling the investments they made from the last decade, according to the New York Times. Disney's parks rebounded pretty nicely from the pandemic. They're expected to generate about $10 billion in profit this year. That's about 5 times the profit they earned 10 years ago. So yeah, $60 billion of investment into these parks and cruise lines over the next 10 years for the House of Mouse. Next week we could have a winner. See if I can win a curveball and make her get the answer wrong next week. Extend this. That's fun to do. All right. Well, we'll let Joann go so we can talk about some football for a while. What do you say to that?
Joann, you don't want to talk Packer football with us?
No, I'm blackballed from talking football.
Oh, okay.
Well, we appreciate you, Joann. Have a great weekend, and we'll catch up with you next week.
All right.
Bye-bye. Have a good weekend.
Tonight, if you can make it, we would love to see you at Kegel for the INCROWD.
Okay.
Hopefully you can make it there Thursday night, 5:30 to 8:30. See ya.
Bye-bye.
All righty. It's
I may actually make it out there. I don't know.
Even if you can't get there, you don't have to be there at the beginning. Show up at 6, show up at 6:30, show up at 7, show up at 7:30. We'll be there at least until 8. I'm pretty sure about that. Some venues let us stay even later than that, but at this one, I would imagine by 8 o'clock they're going to probably say, "Okay, we're close." But I expecting a good turnout. Bring a smile and bring some business cards. If you don't have business cards, at least bring a smile and a handshake and meet some nice folks and see what the crowd's all about. See what MOSAIC's all about, and see what Kegel Harley Davidson is all about.
Sounds good.
I had the video up from the game yesterday where the Brewers clinched. Did I save it here? Okay, there it is. There it is. This is Rowdy's. Hold on a second. Playoff berth clinched. His last pitch in the 9th inning, pop fly to the first baseman, which is kind of ironic because Rowdy usually plays first base when he plays the field. 16-1, your final score. Brewers clinched the postseason for the 5th time in the last 6 seasons. That's pretty stinking amazing for the small.
Yeah, that is pretty good. Greg Counsell is a really good coach. I like him.
There's been
I meant Craig.
Craig Counsell. There's been whispers. There's been talk of him maybe leaving, maybe getting lured away by another team. But he's a hometown guy.
Oh, is he? He's from Milwaukee?
He's from Sheboygan. I
wonder if he knows Gus Polanski and the Kenosha Kickers.
I bet he's met him.
Gus, what's his name? Gus Polanski or something?
I don't remember.
Gus something. John Candy.
Anyway, he's a hometown guy. He's from Wisconsin, grew up near Milwaukee. So for him to coach his hometown team for as long as he has already, he's got, I think he's in the record books now as the winningest manager in Milwaukee Brewers history. So I don't know why he would go anywhere else unless the management really ticked him off.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And I don't know that they would do that. So anyway, kudos. The Cubs, I think, have a sliver of a margin of still getting in as a wild card.
They probably will. Their schedule coming down the stretch is pretty easy. They do end with the Brewers. Brewers have already clinched. They're basically going to get some extra players, some time. And quite frankly, the Brewers have to make this decision. They have to say, do we want to beat up on the Cubs? We don't like them. That's fine. Do we want to beat up on the Cubs and maybe allow the Reds to get in? Maybe allow the Marlins to get in. The team that scares me the most are the Marlins. That would be the team that scares me the most. So maybe, and I'm not saying they're going to throw it or anything like that, but
no, you decide if you're playing your starters that last.
That's exactly what I'm saying. You decide, well, we're not going to play our starters. We're still going to try to win because I want to give all my guys the best opportunity to win. Whatever. They're going to still try to hit homers.
You're starting pitchers.
Walks.
The last series before the playoffs start, you're probably, if you're putting them out there, they're only going out there for 2 or 3 innings. They're not
right. So I expect the Cubs 10 games left. I think is what they're 80 and 74. Is that right? That means there's 9 games left.
They've been on the last week and a half.
If there's 8 games left, the Cubs need to win 6 of those because 3 of them are head-to-head with the Brewers. Another 3 are head-to-head with who are they playing today?
They just lost 2 or 3 to Pittsburgh, so that was not good.
No, it wasn't good. David Ross needs to go. David Ross is the Cubs manager. He needs to go. He does not know how to handle a pitching staff. There's another guy that didn't know how to handle a pitching staff. His name was Dusty Baker. That blind squirrel finally found a nut. I didn't want to argue with Alex too much when he was on a couple of weeks ago. 2 words for you, Dusty Baker. Okay, great, Alex. Great.
Somebody say Joe Madden wasn't good at managing a pitching staff either.
He was not. And this has been the Cubs' downfall. Get somebody who knows pitching. Get somebody who has a gut feeling about, this guy's losing it. When you walk the first batter, and then you walk the second batter on 4 pitches, the third batter you hit. I'm going back to a game specifically about a month ago. This is when that downward slide started happening for the Cubs. The month of September has not been good. You hit the third batter. If you're not out there on the mound talking to your guys, settling them down, hands on both shoulders, hey, buddy, you got this. You got this. The next batter, he walks. And now the game is 8-6 instead of 7-6.
Yeah.
Granted, they were probably going to lose the game anyway. It was 8th inning. 7th, 8th inning, I can't remember, but I'm listening to it on the radio, just almost driving off the road, going, get him out. He is clearly rattled.
I think that was the game against the Brewers because I was at a game that happened, and they ended up.
This particular one was not. This one was against, I believe, the Diamondbacks.
Oh wow, yeah.
But they also did it against the Brewers too. Yeah, it's amazing. I've been watching baseball all my life. I really think I could put on David Ross's uniform and I could win a few games.
Thanks, John. Yes. Atlanta they got a tough end of the season here,
yeah. Wonderful. Well, Atlanta as well. That's the thing. Yeah, thanks, John.
If they're clinched
right now, yeah. So they need to win today and tomorrow for sure. And then maybe take a couple from Atlanta and maybe take 1 or 2 from the Brewers. And that will not guarantee them, but that should get them in that final wild card spot. But that's like being the tallest midget. Seriously, what kind of a distinction? We were the 6th team. Now, I do remember back in 2010, and John's going to be mad at me for this, but Green Bay was the
they were the 16th
team, and they won the Super Bowl in 2010. So
lightning in a bottle, and Marcus Stroman's been hurt, so if he's not going to be healthy for the playoffs anyway, do they even have a chance really?
Well, and what's his name? Justin Steele. Justin Steele is a great pitcher. 16-5. He was on a roll to win 20 games. He lost a game 1-0, and they went into a little stretch where they just couldn't hit. They were losing 2-1, 1-0. 3 games in a row, they didn't score but maybe 2 or 3 runs, and it's like, come on, you're a major league ball team, act like it. Yeah. And I'm sorry, the lineups are bad. The hitting is a result of a discombobulated lineup. David Ross doesn't know anything about a lineup. He follows the Joe Madden school of managing, and that's what I'm seeing. Joe Madden was not a great manager. What he was a very good leader, and what he was good motivator. The Cubs needed that because they had to get out of their own heads and start believing they can win a world championship. Look, they hadn't won one in 108 years. Something had to change. Joe Madden was the right guy for that time, so I will give Joe Madden credit for that. But what I won't give him credit for is his handling of the pitching staff and his handling of the lineup. But you got Kyle Schwarber leading off. Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Kyle Schwarber leading off.
He's like,
Come on.
this is my guy. He's going to hit a home run to lead off the game. That's what he's going to do, and it's going to.
Yeah, that solo home run. Oh, that's gonna win the game
one
for
out of
us.
every 10 games.
Yeah. Anyway, why are we talking baseball? We're supposed to be talking.
We're supposed to be talking Packers
football.
football because we're excited. Even though they lost by 1 point last week, they did have a great showing, and Jordan Love put up another 3 passing touchdowns. His passer rating is number 1 in the NFL.
That's right.
Is showing himself to be calm, cool, and collected. Even when he screws up, he was mad at himself in the press conference after the Atlanta game, but he just said, look, I made a mistake. I gave the wrong word in the huddle. And so when we got up to the line and I said the word I was expecting, I tripped.
I had not heard that, and I'm encouraged by that.
Oh, yeah.
Because
yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm encouraged by that because, one, I don't see – well, Aaron Rodgers, I can just see Aaron Rodgers – well, it was loud, and well, I thought I don't know, whatever. I think it was Matt LaFleur's fault. That guy in the stands, I don't know.
Well, here's the other thing. The play that he made the mistake on was a called quarterback sneak. We haven't been doing that for years.
Mm-hmm.
When's the last time Aaron Rodgers called a quarterback sneak to gain a yard? Maybe once last season, but I don't think so. Maybe once the season before.
Well, Jordan Love is tall enough,
yeah,
and you don't really want to put the ball out there because you can slap it. If it's in the end zone, no problem. Crosses the plane to the goal, they can do whatever they want. So you got to be careful. So you really have to get that push. But what I like is that play where you got a fullback and a running back in the backfield, and they push them forward. You can't miss with that.
That gives you a yard pretty much every time.
And you just fall forward, you're going to get a yard. The quarterback feels like an Oreo cookie, but
yeah,
careful
with that. I mentioned that because I was in Woodstock all last week and I didn't get to watch the game live, which was, that was fine. What I was able to do though, as soon as we got home, YouTube and the NFL had all these game recaps already of the games that have been done. So they have like 15 to 18 minute recaps of all the top plays of the game. And I was like, awesome. I caught up with the action right away, saw all the major plays of the game. And I really enjoyed that. So kudos to the NFL for doing that. Baseball should do stuff like that too.
Yeah.
So the Packers finally get a home game this week, and the Saints
are without Jamal Williams.
Who they have Derek Carr, who I like a lot, but he's not. I don't think he's as good as Jordan Love.
I don't think so. No,
he's a more experienced. Obviously, he's been around the league a while, but
he's a good quarterback. He's a really good quarterback. If the Packers' defensive line doesn't pressure him, he will eat us alive. He will have a good day. It doesn't mean that they're going to win, but he will probably throw for 300 yards, couple touchdowns. Final score, probably 34-31, 34-27, something like that. I think it's going to be a fairly high-scoring game. I look for Jordan Love to have another good game. Aaron Jones should be back. Christian Watson practiced this week. We might be back to football. David Bakhtiari will be playing. He's not playing on games with AstroTurf or with the turf.
Well, they're claiming he did have an injury. What do they call it? There was a word that they were saying that there was a spark of an injury, whatever, something tweaked.
Okay.
We're being cautious, but we all know he's all mad about the AstroTurf and what it did to Aaron Rodgers, and yeah.
Boy, look, I'm okay with that. I'm okay, and there will be. I think they said there will be 4 games where they're going to play on this artificial turf. He'll take off those 4. I'm okay with that.
Well, fine. Until the playoffs, or a game where they need to win to get into the playoffs.
Yeah. If you're playing Detroit in Detroit or something like that, you're in a dome stadium and it's week 14 and you got to have that game. Fine. Sorry, buddy, you're going in. We're taking a chance here. But the Green Bay Packers have always had a good line. And now is no exception. They've got a really good line, even without David Bakhtiari. Because for all practical purposes, they won that game last week. I mean, yeah, they lost 25-24, but they had them beat 24-12 in the fourth quarter. How do you lose that game? Well, you lose it because Jordan Love made the mistake. That's fine. That's fine. No, we're not beating him up for that. Believe me, this guy is a godsend. I love Jordan Love.
He's good.
He is good. I think he's the real deal. So those things are going to happen. It's a learning curve, and I'm good with that. But I see good things happening for the Packers because that offensive line is good, and it's just proof that any quarterback back there, I don't care who you are, I don't care if you're Ryan Leaf, you get a line that holds for you, and you're going to be able to complete passes. You're an NFL quarterback. It means you went through high school, through college, being the best of the best. Any NFL player was probably the best on their team. Mm-hmm. Any college player was one of the top 5 on their team, because a lot of college teams will send 5 to 7 players in that 4-year span, maybe 10 players if you're Alabama, Georgia, Notre Dame, something like that. This is where these players come from. They come from the big time schools. Michigan, right. Even Illinois sends a lot of players.
Something we got to think about too, Tom. There's actually going to be 2 Packers games before our next show.
Yeah, that's right.
Thursday night football, the Packers are at home against the Lions.
Yeah, that's right.
And then the Packers play the Lions Thanksgiving Day in Detroit. So they're only playing Detroit on Thursdays this year.
Wow, isn't that something?
How about that?
That is something. Yeah, this could be good, because then you have a de facto bye week because you have the 10 days off. You won't play on the Sunday.
Before they go to Vegas to take on the Raiders
out
there in Vegas for week 5, which is October 9th. So
we've
got the Saints game this Sunday, and we've got the Lions on
October
Thursday.
9th to October 8th?
Monday night, October 9th.
Oh, it's a Monday.
We go from a Thursday night game to a Monday night game.
That's right, because I was going to do my trivia event on October 8th. I have a 70s trivia event going on, and I was doing it October 8th. That's right. That's the Sunday.
Their bye week is week 6, and then week 7 they're out in Denver to play the Broncos, and that's October 22nd. So they don't play a game between October 10th and October 22nd because of the bye week. So this is it's an interesting schedule, and I do think they get by the Saints handily. I think they double them up, 30 to 15, kind of like that.
I agree with that. I think they're going to beat the Saints. But think about this, and I hate to play the woulda, shoulda, coulda game, but if they would have beaten, so I'm going to do it. But if they would have beaten Atlanta, which they should have, they would be 2-0. Minnesota 0-2. Bears 0-2. Detroit 1-1. Detroit should be 0-2. One pass to that Kadarius Toney. One pass is what did it. Kansas City outplayed them. Kansas City outthought them. The only thing that was weird about that is essentially Dan Campbell outcoached Andy Reid. That is, you talk about
that was a personnel. I think it was a personnel thing.
It might have been.
Our players were out for the Chiefs.
But when the Chiefs have 4th and 25, they still have 2 timeouts. I say punt it back down there and rely on your defense. But they hadn't shown that they could stop the defense, so they took a chance. But it was that 15-yard penalty that killed them. 4th and 10 is doable, especially with Patrick Mahomes. He could run for that and run out of bounds. But anyway, it just could have been very interesting. Green Bay could have been 2-0 and everybody else 0-2. That would have been it's the way it should have played out, but this is the NFL. Nothing plays out the way it should have. So 1-1 for Detroit, 1-1 for Green Bay, fine. Like Bill Parcells said, you are what your record indicates. And he's exactly right about that. So
I'm encouraged by the loss, because I think it does kick them all in the pants to say, hey, we should have won that game. And now they've got that under their skin, and they're like, oh, that one
Let's
that remember
away. Atlanta. Yeah.
Let's remember that. Atlanta again. Let's go the rest of the season, closing out these games that we should be winning. And one of them against the Saints, and then Detroit. That's a toss-up. That's going to be a toss-up. I don't know. Being at Lambeau, you would hope they'd have the juice to do it, but they didn't last year.
Okay, no. So here's the difference. Last year, Aaron Rodgers was having his little hissy fit for most of the season. Again, Matt LaFleur is a very, very good coach. This year, Matt LaFleur has somebody who he can actually teach, mentor, train, somebody who will listen to him. Yeah, coach, what do you want me to do? Here's what I want you to do. Okay, let's do it. And he has proven just in 2 games that he has the capability. He can see the field. He can see that guy. Look at it. He caught the tight end, Musgrave, and he catches it and awkwardly falls. But I mean, and I get it. It was against the Bears. The Bears don't have the best defense. So, but what I'm saying is he's at least seeing the field. That is priority number 1 for a quarterback. When you go up there, this is what made Tom Brady great. It's what made Peyton Manning great. It's what made Aaron Rodgers great. You can see the field, and you can, just like a computer, take it in and say, okay, he's there. You got there. Oh, we got an open spot. Okay, I'm changing the plane. Omaha, whatever. To use a Peyton Manning reference. And you can see, he can see the field. He can see the play. And if you noticed, I don't know if you caught this on the video that you watched, when he went over and threw the ball, both of his feet were off the ground. If you were to take a silhouette shot of that, it looked just like Aaron Rodgers. It was amazing. And the people I was watching the game with, I said, did you see that? Yeah. That looked just like Aaron Rodgers. He's like, yeah, you did.
He played with the guy.
So he learned a little bit from Aaron Rodgers. He's already got it up here.
Yes.
No, so I'm very, very encouraged by Jordan Love. I'm not going to put the cart before the horse. I understand 2 games in against 2 teams that were not as good as Green Bay. So you better win those games. You better show up in those games. Today will be a decent test, but again, they're still better than that. But next Thursday night will be a really good test against Detroit.
Of course, I'll be at the INCROWD event. I don't know if they'll have TVs up with the game on or not, but I don't care. I'm going to be at the INCROWD event till at least probably 8 o'clock. I won't miss too much of the game.
Hey, you can get the YouTube package and put it on your phone. And
all right, Packers, Saints tomorrow. Is it a noon game tomorrow?
Yes, it is a noon game, and the Bears play a 3 o'clock game.
Noon game tomorrow. Oh, good.
So we will be able to watch it. Last week, I think we were talking about both games being a noon game, and
right.
I thought, oh man, I got to go to the sports bar again. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. Have some nachos and my classic club soda or whatever it is I drink.
All right, I think Veda wants me to go walk her, so I need to get out with the dog.
You tell Veda we're talking Packer football.
She's next to me,
going to have to just pee on the floor.
You're past my walking time. Why are you still sitting there? All right, buddy. We will talk to you hopefully Thursday. Hopefully, I'll see you at KEGELS.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make it out there. We'll see what happens. Thursdays can be tough for me, and if, of course, my boss needs me to work, I may end up doing that, but we'll see.
INCROWD at KEGEL this Thursday, 5:30 to probably about 8 o'clock. Be there. And,
sounds good.
Awesome. Have a great rest of your weekend, buddy.
You too. Bye.
Remember, folks, you change the world when you help one person. Be a blessing to someone this week. We'll try to do the same. Meet you back here next Saturday for another Saturday morning State Line Show.